Hello, everyone. My name is Yuta Jazz, and we are going to do a reading about a message from God. Few disclaimers. I'm not claiming myself to be one. I am just the messenger. This is not just for people and folk that are religious or actually believe in one creator. This is not particularly connected to any branch of religion as well. And It's just messages from, yeah, the creator of all to, I don't know, do whatever the fuck it's gonna do. I'm probably gonna swear because I always swear. Maybe I'll swear less. Who knows? Um, if you're triggered by the idea of some channeling coming through with this reading, that's not necessarily my problem. Um, Yeah, if you are not really into this stuff, that's fine. Just, watch a different video. I'm just like putting this disclaimer here because I know that some people might get triggered or get like full heads of ideas, and I'm not here to claim anything. I'm just here to give some messages out that are going to be helpful that come from that type of energy. If you're into a religion, if you're into this type of stuff, if you just need a message or whatever, for some help or whatever, this is for you. If you're not gonna be weird about it, this is gonna be great. If you are, just click off. Just, go do your thing. All right, considering that that's out of the way, and I hope that was like clear enough. Um, I am going to start what? Okay, so we're gonna do these. The Mystical Shaman Oracle deck. Yeah, so this is just like a supportive message, I guess, for possibly just different collectives as I am feeling it like. There's going to be whatever there's going to be. I feel like the piles and the messages are going to be quite varied. And we're also doing 4 piles. I was wondering if it was going to be like 5, but apparently it's just 4. So, yeah. You can pick while it's covered. Please pause, because this isn't gonna run for too long. I'm gonna start flipping them over now. So, da. Already getting some messages, so that's great. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Pick whichever one calls to you the most, and I'm going to start with the Rainmaker for pile number 1. See ya over there, or somewhere else. Hi, pile number 1. So this is the Rainmaker card. One of my most favorite cards in the deck. Come on. Because of not only the symbology, but actually the energy and meaning behind it. I think it's a really well done card. I think it has such a unique way of describing of just like being yourself and letting yourself express and create and shine and show up and have that co-create with the universe, have that actually like bring sustenance through, have something sustainable of your living by just being you, um, and having that like, ripple out through life, through your experiences, through what you do. It being reversed is telling me that you're having troubles recognizing that you have something that you need to share with the world. You are uniquely you for a reason, and you can spread your wings and actually like be seen, create, do, and have that have an impact and effect. And you don't need to have it more special than like, oh, you gotta learn a bunch, or you gotta like get a certification of some sort, or get a diploma. If you're doing something to the extent of like being a surgeon or some type of like clinician or scientist or engineer, yeah, it's very much useful to have a diploma or a certification of some sort, right? But there's engineers that are really freaking out there and advanced, doing stuff in their garage. They started when they were young, crafting stuff by the workbench, right? There's motivational speakers and poets and artists of many sorts that just start out. They don't go to school for it. They become their own masters in their own right. I don't think it's necessarily like as a high tier thing like that, but it is something important in you embodying yourself to the fullest and not letting anything hold you back. Maybe it's your journey to become a professional or a specialist of some sort. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just a lifestyle thing that you really want to live and embody and have more joy with because you're avoiding yourself. It's harder, you know? You're living a life you don't like. You're expressing yourself in a way you don't want to. You're being seen to, just to look good, not to actually feel good. And those are very hard concepts for us to understand when we're going through our lives. But this is an encouragement coming forth of like you can be who you are. It's safe. It's okay. Yes, maybe you need to take your steps and like do a process of some sort of maturing to that point to accept yourself. But that's the journey of life. It's not about other people accepting you and giving you the right to create or to share or to show or to do or to speak or to be heard or to be seen. It's you. It's you. It's always been you. Never have ever has it been anyone else. It's no one's right to put you down. Only you can really give that power away. And it is also a hard concept to understand. But I think you've had your thoughts and your doubts, and now it's kind of like something is being brought forward to let you and remind you to go for it, try it. What else if you don't do it? You know, it's worth it. If you don't, you might miss an opportunity of a lifetime, even if it's starting over fresh or from zero or having a hack at something and just practicing for like the upcoming 3 years, you know? If you delay it, you delay so much of your own self-development and maturation. Instead of praying for an outcome, I pray for the highest good of all. The top and bottom is just standing out, so that's why I'm starting with it. When I accept the love of the universe as my primary teacher, I will always be guided back to the light. So it seems like the roots of this problem are they're kind of in a way complex. Some of them might be going back to childhood for you, as it seems like, as well. The thing that's hidden is like some of you, I feel like, are actually focusing on what's the best thing for everyone too much at your own expense. And the other group of you, it's kind of like, sorry, I just got stopped. Yeah, is that really it? Okay. So never mind. Other group of you is not a thing, apparently. It's just how I would normally read the card, and some of it would be kind of applicable, but for the message sakes, we need to go forward with what I just said. So instead of actually like focusing on what's going to like make everyone else happy about you and around you, focus on what's going to just be your vibe, be your intent, be your focus, be your value or integrity or what are your like basic needs and wants and desires of doing anything for any reason, especially if you get disrespected there or you've had a theme of this in your life because apparently people have like hated on you for just being uniquely you. And it might be a bit weird, it might be a bit different, it might be a bit um nonsensical to others or whimsical or fantastical or maybe literally like way too nice and goody two shoes. Um maybe too like valor oriented as it's coming across, like maybe a bit too faithful in the possibility of magic even. But ultimately, you're okay to be this. Who said you can't fucking be this? That's their problem, and that's not yours. It's gonna be hard realizing how you've been brainwashed to believe other people instead of believe yourself. Because they've like oversimplified your view of life. And I feel like some of you actually have a very interesting, unique, and either artsy or complex view or creative or analytical. Like you have something different that you're afraid of. Realize why you're afraid of. Look at the fear. It's not gonna eat you up or consume you. If you ignore it, it will. Stop going by the notions of society and what you need to do to survive, and just because that was told to you by your parents, by your employers, by your school, by whoever, whatever it is. All of these systems are in place just because of humans, and humans just do it because they're trying to figure shit out. And a lot of the time, people make stuff out of fear, not out of love, but the things that really impact their lives and themselves, as well as the ones they're connected to, and the whole world on a major scale is when it's done out of love. That's the key. And it's hard to accept that vulnerability of moving and doing stuff out of a desire or understanding of like learning through love, learning through a universal like teaching of this feeling that only you can feel. Everyone can tune into their own version of faith and love and doing stuff out of passion, but a lot of people are too insecure to do that, and you currently are facing down that monster, that fear, that fake identity of what's right. You know, if you go by love, it's gonna be dangerous and nonsensical and whimsical, right? If you go by fear, you're gonna look out for the points of where danger is gonna come from. That was a decent enough like method of growing when we were very much uncivilized and uneducated, and everything was like black and white, and it was just survival. But we've really transitioned into a world where the only way our problems and our life evolves to a point of like prosperity and abundance is if we're going to figure out how to live by a different notion that is thriving, not just surviving. And that comes from you being a part of the whole collective of the machine, of the society, of the group, of even just your own life if you don't go that far. Maybe some of you want to be like hermits, self-sustainable, but I think you most are going to be needed to be connected to society and embody this like point of like you're going with this vibe and choice and set of like beliefs in an evolution, instead of following suit like everyone else is and just being part of the masses, just, making it day in, day out. Except, yeah. Instead, you're just choosing to actually live every life and experience it for what it has to teach you and show you, and to bring yourself to that experience to show yourself. I let go of the shadow of the past by seeing someone for the first time with the eyes of love. Hope is a conduit for miracles, and the moment I realign with love, clearer direction is presented to me. So you're currently realizing what you're afraid of and how that suffocated you and kept you in line and has stopped you from not only expressing yourself but actually expanding and making the best out of any and every situation. And you're kind of finding through this stumbling inside of your own darkness and shadow, you're finding and figuring out how to be hopeful again, how to accept that you need to shift and not do the regular thing that maybe statistically is correct, right? Or makes sense or is efficient and productive. Life isn't lived out of that. It works, but it's only a statistic at that point. It's not really a fulfilling feeling. So through you gaining that faith and hope within yourself and the world, and that there maybe is a place for you to express yourself and be your unique self, and maybe that is needed in the world, through you internalizing that and having your own cooking pot of stew and stewing away, to really integrate that, to make that a proper like creative basis, right, from where you can grow and experience yourself, you're going to realize how you can realign with living that way step by step, and then seeing that become reflected to you and for you too. That's going to be the moment where you're really going to be clicking into this new way of seeing the world, living, making different choices, and then having different results where you actually want to keep going and trying, and letting yourself like look at that possibility of a better life. Because you're not quite there yet, but you are getting comfortable with the idea of like maybe this can work, and maybe I can start trying to do these different decisions and actually get the results in a different world, of experience. That it becomes practical. It actually is something you can tangibly see and experience. I think that is everything. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope this helps you. This was a really interesting, unique vibe. I feel like you have a lot of support from the universe guides and everything else, but it is like a very scary transition for you. So I really wish you best luck and possibility and prosperity with that. Thank you for spending your time here. Thank you for sharing, and I hope that, yeah, I see you again sometime. So yeah, peace out and have a good one. Hello, pile number two. So you got a 21 is right away standing out to me and jumping out. And the Gatherer. Also her witchy vibes is really coming through. So some of you are getting reacquainted with your inner witch. Also, a couple of you are going through intense, immense initiations and transformations that are meant to forge you, fold you, create you into this new version of you that is going to be magical, that's going to be spiritual, that's going to become their own witch or wizard in their own sense. You might have tingly, weird sensations either at the top of your head or the crown, as it said. You might have like your palms and hands tingle a little bit occasionally sometimes, and it's not a physical thing. Um, you might have like a little bit of a thing with your fingertips happening too, and I don't know, something with the T here, like your face with the T here. I don't know. Could also be a bit of an opening with the throat chakra. So, yeah, something of your expression with this is opening up. I feel like you're going to show up more as a spiritual person that actually pursues this path and is interested by the concepts of herbs and herbal medicine, um, what is considered to be homeopathy, not the hooey stuff, not the nonsensical stuff, but the stuff that actually has a basis of truth, but maybe conventional modern science, especially in the Western media of things, doesn't support it, right? Because that actually is a bit of a misinformation tactic that has gone on through the recent years, but really does have a basis in either some parts of being necessary to explore, others of it have actually factual basis of helping the human like nervous system. Um, if you don't want to look into the spiritual or emotional benefits behind it, it actually does have physical properties as herbs and like that type of medicine does. It's just the way it is. But besides that, there's maybe some other branches of homeopathy that you will learn that really have practical evidence but are hard to apply because of their nuanced notions. You might find some books about it, you might find some ancient Chinese medicine stuff, or something about astronomy and astrology just came through as well. Astronomy more for some reason. I am surprised that my freaking camera just stopped, so I'm gonna quickly fix that. I don't know what that was. Maybe there was a synchronicity on what I was talking about. But yeah, you might just have like these initiation and awakening and ascending symptoms like tingling, a random frickin' muscle bubbling, or what feels possibly sometimes like blood bubbling, but it's not actually physically happening. A lot of the time, those symptoms are metaphysical and sensed physically, but if you go to a medical practitioner, proper like, clinic, they might actually pick up that you have nothing occurring at any point. Even when that stuff happens, literally, like word for word type of thing, you're getting checked out, you have that sensation or those experiences, and the scanners and or whatever other stuff they're using, like it doesn't pick it up. There's no irregularity with you that is occurring physically. Other times, some things do actually occur and they're definitely physically there. I'm not gaslighting you. Like, let's say when you're intensely healing, you might heat up significantly and your temperature does rise up to fuck knows what, compared to it just being absolutely normal. And then after just 10 minutes of that, it's back to normal. You didn't actually have a fever or anything else occurring health-wise. It was just your temperature rised up for a moment and then completely dissipated, and it doesn't have a basis. Um, you might be experiencing just weird things and symptoms like that. Mostly, it could be when you're resting, falling asleep, or traveling, um, because those states are the most meditative and relaxed, and that's when your body has the opportunity to actually go through these experiences and process the awakening and initiation of its own kind on a physical level, DNA level, cellular level, atomic level. Overall, also your life might be a little bit in shambles in some aspects or ways. Maybe you're not going out and socializing a lot. Maybe you are in between of jobs. Maybe you're seeking a new home. Maybe you've just had a falling out with your family or partner. Whatever the case might be, this is temporary. It will not last forever, and it was necessary to move you to the right place at the right time in the future. All you need to do is look after yourself the best you can currently right now. Surrender to the process, hold on to yourself, but everything else, whatever doesn't need to stand with you, just let it go. It doesn't need to be there. It has its own free will as well as you do, and it's a universal like shifting of resonance within energy, vibration, and frequency. You'll understand more of its purpose when the time will be right. The meaning will become very apparent to you, but currently it is necessary for you to kind of be clouded and not see things clearly and kind of at some points maybe feel a bit uneasy or anxious even or panic because you don't quite understand what's happening to you and why is this occurring and why me, and I don't know if I can get through this. This is painful and I can't even receive help and I'm really trying my best here. Just keep going, just keep flowing, surrender to the motions. Whatever you'll need, you will get back relatively quick. And currently, it's kind of like a storm you'll weather through. And don't overexert yourself neither in activity or resources or trying to force things to happen. Um, because it's kind of like you have enough to make it through this if you don't thrash around and freak out and then try things that are unnecessary. The universe will always take its course, and you are a part of the universe. There is no way you can avoid what was always meant to happen, or what has always meant to happen. That was weird. Anyway, you got the point. Hmm. Do you focus on emotionally supporting yourself and taking up the practices that would be helpful with that? If you need more just emotional downtime, if people are too much for you or freaking you out, if you're overstimulated, if your sensory body is overstimulated, like lights and whatever else is too much, then focus on sorting that out for yourself. If you do need exercise, go ahead and check out what you can do for exercise. Even then, stretching can be really helpful if you can't do like yoga, aerobics, or Pilates, or Tai Chi or something. Stretching might really help with some of this. So look into that. You only need 15 minutes a day. It's really not that much of a request, and you don't need to overexert yourself like most people try when they do stretching. As minimal as you can, where it actually does feel like you're doing something, but it's not hurting too much. It's not risking any damage. Do that, because I know not everyone can do that or feel like they're incapable because of some chronic stuff or otherwise. There's something you can still do. If it's as simple as like, this, then just do that and check your other joints and limbs that you can do that with. If you can do a full body thing where you kind of just move around all of your joints for 10 minutes a day, do that. Focus on also like breathing properly, and meditation would really be helpful. You don't need to completely isolate if there is anyone or just someone that you can seek help from or you can have as a supportive person or company or ear for you, a shoulder to cry on. Do go out and seek out help. Do ask for it. If it's medical, just for a checkup, just so you can calm your nerves, go ahead and do that. If it's something in your like possibilities, if it's actually if it's having a conversation with someone anonymous, go ahead and do that. If it's getting a counselor, go ahead and do that. If it's finding a healthy forum or online service, do that. Reach out, seek out, ask, and you will receive. But if you do not try, if you do not seek out the help you need, you will not receive it out of the blue, out of the sky. You need to open up and actually ask for it. Otherwise, nothing is really going to just plop down and reach you. Some things might, sometimes we do get that, but it's not as regular when in the contrary of it, you could actually just ask and maybe try some options out before you get to what works for you. If you never try, you never get to the understanding of where you need to open up or where something actually can find you that works out for you. So let go of the burdens that you're carrying right now currently. I think some people are using your kindness and positivity or good nature and will for their own benefit while you are really struggling and you do not need to carry this load. You do not need to look after adults that should be able to look after for themselves. If they can't, check out how they could potentially without you overexerting yourself. Just because you can look after other people doesn't exclude them from them doing their part wherever they can or they should do that. Um, Besides that, you're needing to seek out the help that they might have actually had the chance or opportunity to along this way, along this journey that just occurred. Some of these people don't even have your best interests at hand. They just want to pile off their work so they don't have to deal with their unresolved emotions or baggage, whereas you actually do want to try and improve and get better, but you think being a charitable Samaritan is the way to go on some level. If it's not that, you might just think that you have more responsibility over things that aren't yours than you should, which is also very much realistic for people that aren't necessarily always just giving to the, extent of being too nice, but they might just be too controlling and take hold of things. So if it's not you or your, little children or children that, can't look after themselves, um, let them go. They need to figure it out themselves. And you need to face that within yourself. Because it's hard when you help everyone, but you don't even know how to ask for help. How do you receive that? Because you're going through an ascension. You need your peace, you need your quiet, you need things to be smooth and easy and not filled up to the brim with responsibilities, difficulties, or honestly karmic bullshit. Yeah. You'll start seeing right and more when the time is right, but currently you are way too involved in other people and stuff like that. It's just the way it's coming through. But once you'll give in to the prospect and truth that you need as much love and care, even if not more sometimes, right? Because everyone fluctuates. Even as a person that's strong and wise and has intuition and is connected or blessed or other things or has resources, then what good does your effort do for you? And it is an important question. It's not just about other people in this life. You're a part of the process and you're being pushed and called to something for a reason, especially if you're going through initiation of the witchhood type. Or this kind of reminds me of elder matriarch energy. It doesn't have to be gender specific because also we have elder elder grandpas and whatever patriarchs having to be initiated to be a proper source of wisdom or truth or even resources, right? But they gotta go through that to be that approachable, sensible, um, nurturing individual. It's a both well, genders or no gender thing, depending on how you look at it or who you are. But it is a necessary step in the process of becoming that individual or being initiated into it. Even if you're not gonna become like witchy woo woo, it's still something you gotta go through. Let go of your control to be doing everything. You're not supposed to take care of everything. That's not your job. Yes, you're being initiated into being a person that's more supportive or a carer of some sort or like is a healer or something like that, but it's not in the way you think it is. When you are a healer or a carer, it's important to know when you need to step in and when you need to let go and be uninvolved. You can't be everything at once. That in this case is coming through as like that's spirit's job. That's God's job. That's not your job. Your job is just to be you. And to be you, you also need to be taken care of. Through your life, go through your processes. Be miserable once in a while, not be constantly controlling and doing things. It's not unjust of you to take a step back or even 10. It's not unjust of you to relinquish responsibility over others or care over specific things or groups or organizations or community. For a community to be whole, everyone needs to pitch in. It can't be just one person dragging everyone all the time or filling their cups up in this case, like filling them up while you get drained. That's not your job. Face the truth of why you think it's wrong for you to not be in charge all the time and controlling everything. Because you're about to be blessed. You're going to need to be acting in a new, different way that is more wise and wizened, that is more um, appropriate in how you might reallocate the source of like abundance, prosperity, wisdom, nurture, love, authenticity. because it's kind of like giving handouts, right? Leads to people also being self-centered and arrogant and egocentrical and just in general like selfish and self-appointed and expecting the world or without doing anything, not realizing that they do need to actually put in effort or be a part of the system. Sometimes it can be like, oh, one person is wholly like emotional and other things like unseen, and the other person is more materialistic and resourceful and down to earth. But even then, those people are whole in realizing their purpose and who they are. If you just kind of like always are keeping everyone afloat, they can't realize their lessons, their consequences, and their purpose and what they create or do, or what identity they even represent behind all of that. They have their own personality and purpose to understand without giving their load off to someone else. I know that sounded in a way, but we're gonna move on. Um, Maybe comedic relief for someone. But you have your own process to go through. It's okay. You're safe. Do it. Let God and whatever else you believe in protect you while you go through this process. Stop holding back the crumble, the burn, the tower, the consequences, the issues, the lessons. Stop holding it back. It's not that you need to initiate it, but you do need to take back your protection, your energy that you've just like scattered around to everyone else so they can be better off in their lives while you ignored yourself and you didn't notice how much of a damaging aspect this had towards you. Um, you will get through this. They will get through this. It's all fine. Just let go a little bit more. And let the magic reach you in its own destined time and way. There is a way it's reaching you, its own way. Not the way that's conventionally seen to be the good path, especially the good Samaritan path. Yeah, you deserve this. Justice comes to those that seek it, not the ignorant ones that go behind the ways of blind faith. If you use and abuse, you will be neglected, and that is not by virtue of punishment, but it's by the virtue of needing to learn what is love and how to have it prosper and whole. I don't know. I definitely do not prepare this type of stuff or yeah, that was an interesting one. Ask yourself how can you see things in more of a light of love instead of like going by what you believe to be true. Because those two things are different. If you can understand how God, love, spirit, energy works through everything, right? How the universe kind of speaks through everything, even in bad things or consequences or stuff not working out the way we expected it to be good, you'll have an easier time just accepting things to just occur. Blind faith can only sometimes get you like so far, but if you question where things need to be the way they are, you might get more answers and why, and have more peace within yourself and your own process. I guess that is everything. Yeah, no, that's everything. Okay. It just like it kind of was like a pulling rabbits out of the hat motion with this pile. Like I thought I was done, and I kept, yeah, there kept like being more to speak to or talk about. Um, but thank you so much for spending your time here. I wish you the very luck through this initiation and growth process. I myself can sympathize with this, remembering what I had to go through, and it isn't easy. And no person that goes through this finds it easy, but every one of them does make it to the end. Sorry, I just needed to sneeze. But one way or another, everyone makes it through. It just, shows you if you're gonna keep going. I'm sorry, I can't stop myself from sneezing. If it happens, it happens. But it just shows where you're going to go after the initiation process is going to be done. But everyone gets through it, no matter how tough it gets. So you keep on, keep it on, and I'm sending you a lot of blessings and love. And I hope to see you again. And yeah, I'll just call it a day. See ya. Hello, pile number 3. I hope you are doing well. Um, yeah, Luminous Warrior reversed, which is a interesting card to have. You have a 32, which breaks down to a 5. I feel like you're going through difficult change. Yeah, but you're also seeing the end of it. I don't know. I'm just shuffling cards first. I don't have. I feel like I'm just zoned out and zoning in at the same time. So we're just gonna let let it be. Okay, so let go of the reins a little bit. You're not stuck. The thing is, like when we're going through life, spiritual processes, just energy hiccups and etc., whatever it is, however you want to define it, we don't get things moving forward or improving, or we can't see our dreams fully, or we can't feel good, we can't feel present, and we can't like actually go forward because we're not willing to accept a change in belief, thought, emotion, perspective. We're not like letting ourselves go free and just process whatever it is we need to process. It can be really anything. Sometimes we don't want to process a feeling or emotion because we feel like it's dark and we don't want to go dark, and it's uncomfortable, it's painful, and we don't want to reminisce or we don't want to go there. But you never know how following your own truth that's occurring inside of you, whether it's reminiscing on hurt or pain, um, or processing like disgruntlement or whatever else, not being stuck in it, but like following the river, right? How that can lead to a new perspective understanding, or can be just you venting to yourself. If it's shifting a thought or belief or thinking about something you consider insane, crazy, nonsensical, fantastical, if you follow that thread, right, you might receive some important nuggets of insight, thought, and belief that really bring you closer to what you really think, or you really want to believe in, or what can inspire you or motivate you or bring you to create or to make new different decisions. Just because you're trying to be right doesn't mean you are being right. That just means you're trying to embody some sort of level of self-control to get to somewhere you think you want to be, or to get something you think you need to get in this way only, or to stay proper or sane or happy or healthy or normal. A lot of the time it's normalization of society and constructs coming through that way. It's to fit in, it's to be good, it's to be productive, efficient, or right, correct in some way. Something you've been doing has been keeping you stagnant and stuck in whatever because you're trying to hold the fort, as it said. You're trying to man yourself and hold strong or be precise or particular or just keep it steady. It's like you need to let it go. You need to flow. Excuse me one moment. Sorry, previous reading just made me like sneeze a lot, and this one is doing something as well. So yeah, I just needed to take a pause. But honestly, what you think is you just like lying or daydreaming or thinking things you don't want to think or feeling things you don't want to feel or what's going against your better fucking judgment in general is supposed to lead you down this like wave and river of thoughts, experiences, emotions inside of you that bring you to clarity, to having things start going in life again. Um, Having things like make sense or occur, or you being able to just sit and be present, and not sit in this uncomfortable space where it's like, so if you don't know how to access this, I would recommend asking yourself, what am I avoiding feeling or thinking, and why? What is possibly positive about going down the river of my own emotions or thoughts? How can I access what I am currently avoiding? It's very funny how we as people and humans, when we're having a tough time, forget to ask ourselves questions, and we're literally equipped with a mind and heart that are like the best processing computers there are. They're infinite databases, especially when it comes to us and ourselves, but we need to interact with them. We need to ask ourselves and give ourselves trust and time to have it like come through, basically. Because it will come through and we will get the right information that is only really useful to us for us from our perspective in life that we're living, but we just through doubt and fear and panic and thinking like what do I need to do outside of myself, forget that we everything is within us. It's always been within us. We need to just know how to use our own selves, our own tools, and then not fight ourselves, not fight the process, not fight the truth that's coming through. If it's not those questions, personalize them, create them the way you need. Ask them and trust that they will come through when it's going to be the best time to come through, which is not in the way we expect and not on our clock or on our schedule. Sometimes it might be when you actually get back home from work. Other times it's when you get to work and you then out of nowhere need to take a break before you start your shift and break down a little bit in the bathroom. Maybe do some journaling before you start opening up your emails or going off to do that forklift job, whatever it is. Obviously, I don't really work with those, so. But you're denying yourself something because you're looking at things and how they need to happen and be, and how you need to just keep it going to keep sane, and everything's going to be all right, and just keep going, and etc. And the pressure is building up because you're not letting yourself go through something that is essential. Just because you think it's bad doesn't mean it is bad. And just because something is good, it doesn't mean it's good. You're okay to realize how you might be avoiding yourself by doing what you think is right. Yeah, maybe some of it is going to lead you to realizing things you went through when you were not expecting things to go wrong and to break down and to betray you and deceive you and make you feel like something you wanted was there, but actually it was just a form of like manipulation and neglect and abuse. Maybe it's realizing that something you really wanted was kind of like lying to yourself, right? Now you don't want the same things. Maybe it's understanding also how the way you grew up and how you've become the person you are is a good thing that happened through not fun experiences, but made you the way you are today and can be appreciated for creating someone as unique and as wise and as powerful as you are. Because you're not meant to be perfect. No one is perfect. The point that you go through the life that you go through and actually grow up and become like a full-fledged whole, adult or person or whatever it is, right? The point that you keep developing and growing and evolving and just like living is all that is needed. And sometimes it's just hard to see the purpose of how it's leading you to something that is going to be for you, that's going to make you happy, that's going to create an opportunity for connecting, seeing meaning within the world and life, making a message, receiving a message, and gaining clarity. Speaking truth where you might have actually found only lies, made lies, created lies out of like, the need to just keep moving and survive and survive. But you can find truth in that too. It's not just like lies. Lies in a funny way can be inverted, just like this card. Truth, lies. It takes time to realize how that works though, right? Just like anything else in life, any form of manipulation, illusion, and truth. They always kind of fluctuate a little bit, right? It's like a pendulum. But you're ready to realize how you were always being led to become not only a strong, authentic, independent, healthy figure, but how you can also bring forth something you really want to create that was always something you left in the realms of dreams and fantasy. Because we are here to realize either how to create our fantasy to be real or actually live it. And I think you're meant to at least realize it to create that living whenever you'll be able to create that living. Because it's important to you, it's important in general. It's not just nonsense that you might be trying to go by and make life worth living more. No, that's why you're living to begin with. It's counterintuitive like that sometimes. So let yourself be empowered by going through something you're afraid of inside of yourself with more courage and trust of yourself and focus on loving yourself. And if you can't empower yourself through that journey, get mad, but go through it so you can be more happy or of love at the end of it somehow. Because this is like bringing something out of you, like a volcano of some sort, or something you can impact the world with or other people with. You might not really see how it's going to come full circle, and you're really going to show people that it's okay to take authority in your life by surrendering to it. And yourself, and your dreams, and compassions, and anger, and other things, whatever it is, right? Life is complicated and messy, so are we as well. But there's something brewing in your stomach. Something about eclipses just came through as well. Things will make more sense on the full moons and less sense on the new moons. You might not be like a person that's governed by moon cycles and at all in general, but there's something that's going to just kind of work like that a little bit. More so over time if you're still aligning to like yourself in a way, but in general that's kind of like a basis of like how things just illuminate and get kind of like covered by life and energy and just like noise and stuff like that. Let yourself go into that like cathartic state where you might be like yelling, crying, and really like letting go of some things and purging some stuff out, whatever has gone against your better judgment, your feeling of being empowered, of being safe, of being like in control, of being capable of like having the world as your oyster. There's something you gotta get out of your system. You you gotta either pass it down and practice on grounding, or you yeah, practice on grounding as it's being said. Um, there's a practice of where you can bring light down through like from, God, the heavens, whatever you believe to be like that, the highest source of unconditional love, light, and benevolence, and order, bringing that light down and energy down through your crown, having it go through all of your chakras, and then go down through your feet into the earth, into the core of the earth, through, usually people like envision this like string leading down there, but whatever works for you. And let yourself kind of go through that motion. Um, if it's a really big issue, your diet might need some changes as well, and to shift a little bit with that. If you start going through emotional things, you might actually feel like you get sick at the end of it. But that's only for a few of you if it's really extreme. If you're one to have like really bad anxiety cramps or IBS, this practice may be especially important for you, to release whatever is stuffed up and holding you back from really being like an authority, because you don't need to be unhealthy as an authority figure, right? Or as a person that takes authority over themselves and their life. You might just be learning how to really stand in it in a way that makes sense to you and other people and is like a healthy, cohesive thing altogether. And it's okay to sometimes be wrong when you're learning as well. Don't beat yourself up too much just because you might accidentally hurt yourself while you're figuring out how you got hurt and how you can actually go beyond that notion too. Now we're done. Okay. I'm like, huh, very very much like was hoping I was gonna hit the point there on the head because it's just a little yeah there's just a lot to unpack with the solar plexus in general because I keep staring at this like this part of the card. There's so much happening with the solar plexus. Practice I would recommend as well is like if you're watching something and you're just chilling out and lounging, or when you're falling asleep, having your hands be like these portals full of light that comes out on your stomach would really help. You can do it, yeah, when you're resting, when you're traveling, when you're going to sleep. Yeah, it's very helpful to send like this wave of just slow, loving light and like pure energy, you know? And everyone's capable of it. You don't need training. You don't, you just need to like, focus on pure light and have your hands where you need to have them to do that healing. And for you, it's the stomach apparently. So yeah. Eights also just came through as being like a big number for you. Something that breaks down to an eight, but mostly it feels like an eight, 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 eight. Um, Infinity signs as well. I also heard Trinity sounds for Trinity like signs for some of you, but that's only if it calls out to you as well. Triangles would be then the representation of that. Um, or mention of Holy Trinity or trines and stuff like that as well. Maybe you need to check out some trines in your astrology as well, or if there's a specific transit happening at the time you're watching that's a trine or something else like that. I'm not an astrologer, but it's just coming through. So, um, yeah, that's all. I hope you have had some help with this reading. I hope it resonated. Thank you so much for spending your time here and coming by. I hope to see you again, and I pray for your success and peace and blessings and miracles. So, yeah, have a good one. Hello, pile number four. You got the sorcerer. 48. Lots of information coming through with this. So you're being like slowly called to the forefront and initiated to start living your life in a new way that's going to be very impactful and important in general. Some of you are going to have not only positions of leadership, but like banding community together in groups and friendship groups and friends. Some of you are going to be calling in new relationships very, very soon. Others of you are going to be called into having spiritual experiences that are going to be outside your relative idea of the norm, because it's important to you to, like, not to only you, but to spirit and the collective consciousness for you to step into realizing your collective's energy more. So, what star system do you come from? What spiritual collective from? What energy does your higher self resonate with the most? Who is your higher self to you, if you don't know that yet? How do you connect to your guides? What type of guidance do you follow from what type of energy? Do you work with deities? Do you work with aliens? Do you work with fairies and fae? Do you work with other realms? Is your main realm? What is its prospect and importance? And how are you bringing more consciousness into it? If you're a creative, this is going to really inspire you to make new stuff, whether it's for yourself or for the world. Others of you, you're going to bring really interesting conversations to your friendship groups or maybe internet or forums or whatever you use as a means to communicate on unrestricted channels, either real life or otherwise. In general, the importance of this message is for you to understand that if you're going to have weird visualizations, if you're out of nowhere going to feel like you need to do a ritual or ceremony, or if you're going to out of nowhere need to um, have weird conversations with people or give them a message or channel something or talk to a being in your room, right? Whether you see them in your imagination, if you feel their presence out of nowhere in the room or something else starts happening like that, if it becomes reoccurring, you need to keep going with it and flowing with it. If it's going to take up too much of your time, start setting boundaries, right? Start setting boundaries with spiritual experiences and stuff like that of like, I'm available throughout this time, or I really need this space of time just empty, or you can't come to me when I'm working like this, or when I have to deal with my kids or something, right? Or sleep time is off limits for me. Some points you're gonna have more luck with that than others, but you'll figure out a balance that works for you, and your guides and spirit team is going to try and help you not be overwhelmed by this, but you still need to be open to experiencing this because it's not just going to heal you, it's going to upgrade your life, it's going to help you be yourself more, feel like yourself, and not be like restricted by inhibitions or kind of like be restricted by, I don't know. Like you have these experiences only when you use like cannabis or drink or something, or when you're talking to the specific person, or when you're in specific places, or when you go to church, right? It's all fine and dandy if you have that as a part of your reality in a healthy way and you're not losing yourself for giving your faith away to external sources. But it's important for you to grow within this nature because your collective needs you to have these experiences in your conscious physical form when you're alive. It brings more light to you. It brings more light to the collective. It heals missing strands. It heals disconnection. It heals pain. It heals isolation. It heals confusion. And this will empower you to not only realign with yourself as who you truly are, it's going to help you reach out and for some of you, it's like reaching out and gaining more wisdom and knowledge that you can actually practically speak on a level here, just with like people that are muggles, as it said, right? People that aren't spiritual. Some of the knowledge you might get from these other dimensions and realms of like time, space, and your own like spiritual collective can be really helpful to humans and practical living. You might be surprised. It just, it's going to take time to connect. Others of you, you need to take a leadership position, as we were talking, right? So you're going to actually notice that you're a bit of a calling card when it comes to your collective, your group, the councils you're a part of. If it's not councils, maybe you're a goddamn inventor up there, right? Who knows? I cannot say because there's multiple different types of people tuning into this, and you have your own specific, special collective talents, energy, uses. But if you keep ignoring this, you're wasting away your responsibility, accountability, power, and like necessity in life. Because this will give you like more awareness and clarity and downloads, but there's so much that you're also going to be providing to the world, yourself, and growth overall. Because bringing back wisdom from this experience or with like realigning like those two levels of consciousness in multiple dimensions really enlightens everyone in creation, honestly. It helps all of existence. It's not just the planet, it's not just people or you, it is everything, everywhere, all the time. You're ready for this, you'll be happier you did it. You're going to be successful in your practical endeavors, career, health, and otherwise. Maybe some of your relationships might fall apart, so you get better ones, or the ones you have are going to improve and become more intimate and sensual on the emotional, like an intellectual front. And practically, you might just see your life moving more forward in a way that you didn't expect before, and you're gonna notice that magic is really real. But if you don't work with it and don't understand yourself to be a part of it, it doesn't exist at all. None of it really does. We give power to it as it gives power to us. And we are like our own sovereign aspect of it, that is okay to make decisions, choices, communications, and otherwise, like whatever it is, right? So some of you are like really high-end, powerful beings, and you're afraid that you're gonna accidentally make mistakes and hurt some people, or call into fruition some things that like aren't necessarily needed to happen yet. Like maybe it's too soon, too rushed. Maybe it's too much. Maybe I'm overstepping my myself or boundaries. Maybe this is unhealthy or neurodivergent or just imaginary or something else. Look, you're keeping yourself away from really living your life. At the end of the day, you are who you are. You can't run away from that. If you do, you're just lying to yourself, and everyone else is avoiding stepping on your toes because you're already a powerful being. Why poke the bear type of thing? Like the bear should know what the fuck it's doing type of thing, right? But in this case, it's like, no, you're just afraid of mistakes, which is okay, but that's everyone all the time, everywhere across all lifetimes in all spaces of existence. But if no one came to the front of being who they truly are and accepting that part of life, nothing would get done. Never. No one would have happiness, joy, success, connection. Mistakes and failure are a part of it, are a part of achieving, getting to destinations, living yourself. dreaming yourself to reality, and vice versa. You're living yourself to dreams. Face the fear, face the danger, and know that everyone is always going to love you no matter what. Even if you come across a bit rude or mean or otherwise, whatever, like some of you as powerful beings, you don't understand that while you're still waking up, you're not going to cross the threshold of no return. You're not going to move out of place if you don't do anything, though, too. There's always things you can keep doing forward to keep improving and to keep reassessing things or redirecting yourself into the right position, right? Staying stuck where you are at is not the answer. So some of you are not you're not where you're supposed to be. You're not around the people you're supposed to be. You're not actually living your life. You're not happy. You're not healthy. You're not prosperous. You don't see the rhyme or reason in life. You're just trying to do your best, and that's the only thing you can do. Obviously, that's the best attitude to have. But if you're doing it out of fear and fear towards fear, you're just doing your best spinning in circles. And it's time to go out of your comfort zone. It's time to experience and experiment. It's time to see what you can really do given the circumstances. Throw off the blinders, throw off the shade, stop ignoring your calling because you think it's safer this way. Safer isn't always the best for life at all, especially when it comes to experience and growth and development. I feel like I'm a lot more stern with this pile than the others. It's interesting. You're hearing the right things to say, you're hearing the right things to think, you're hearing the right things to move forward. You just constantly double check and doubt and then backpedal and you keep backpedaling. And we got the Five of Swords as I'm talking about this. It was It flipped really interestingly upside down and then right side up instantly. And it did a little bounce. Some of you are really not. This is a hard message because like this is stern, and what's coming across is like if things were gonna work out, they would have worked out by now, the way you're doing things. Because you try so hard, you put in so much effort, and it's kind of like by what amount of time and by what amount of pain, things not working out, and isolation or being unsuccessful or losing so much, right? Do you understand that it's better to take a different course of action or to be okay with the like redirections that you thought were just misdirections? If you keep getting redirected, there's a reason for it. If you keep misdirecting your own actions, why? Because your fortune is about to come in, but it's constantly stuck on the buffer of like it can turn around, but it's not because there's something holding it in place, and it's you yourself because you keep doing the same thing. So you get the same results. And I feel like you've had this for a while. You're just kind of stubborn of like, I'm gonna keep on doing what I'm doing and believe that it's the right thing instead of facing the hard questions and answers that I've been hearing for the last whatever amount of time. It's time to go. Something's gonna pick you up, but you gotta keep on doing the things that actually really work, not the stuff that holds you back. Some of you don't know what it is, you say. You actually do. You're just ignoring the clarity and the answers behind it because it only really comes from you. Other people can only like tell you what you know. If they know anything or they can tell you anything, especially spiritualists, like yeah, sometimes people can premonition. I'm one of those, but you can only really foretell something because it's already set in motion and known in energy by the querent. You are your own best intuitive, divinator. You already have all of the answers somewhere in your subconscious and conscious beyond. And you guys are meant to create something great and awesome, but you keep telling yourself you're not ready yet, or you need to keep doing this or that or whatever. It's like pick up the fold of like I just saw like a picnic table with the thing on it and like someone's like taking off the cover and letting everything fly off of it and then they just go away. In this case you need the cloth, but everything on it you do not need. I don't know what the fuck that means. If it's visually metaphorically suiting you, take it. If it's not, leave it. But yeah, you keep playing chess and losing against yourself basically. And it's time for you to face the reason why, because some things will work out as evidence for you and a sign. I feel like if you believe in God on any level and it's kind of like you've been called to something that's like a risk in your life, this is kind of like a message and a promise coming through for you of like if you just take the steps we agreed on and you said you'll do, right? If you trust me, I will reward you. I will give you evidence. After that, yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a drought and work to go through, and you got to face the point that it's going to be like that, and you're going to need to use your best energy and efforts and everything to go forward. But I will show you evidence right away if you quit this shit that is not serving you or anyone else, that is holding you back, that's making you feel like you're weak, a victim, or ignorant, or stupid, or you don't know any better. If you let go of all of this and you understand that you're powerful, you have authority and authenticity to follow, and you can make your own choices and you can call things in, and you need to follow the other steps following this one, and you can go there, do that, take this risk, right? It's not crazy shit. It seems like it right now, but it's step by step. You will get rewards to keep you going, to show you that you're going in the right direction. Something will work out. You might lose some things that you're afraid of losing right now that you keep trying to keep in your life, but you'll have such clarity once they fall away. You take the steps and you see, fuck, this is working out. Wow, I did not know this. I didn't believe in it. I didn't believe in myself. After that, you're gonna get what you're gonna need to kind of stockpile on a little bit to continue the journey, to go through elevation and learning and creating your own space, creating your own prosperity, abundance, your own unique little vehicle to travel like through the desert to get to the oasis. Because it's really time for you to understand you've grown up. You can let go of the previous stages of your life. If it feels non like not fulfilling and empty and you couldn't keep getting stuff you're like off the ground, even though you really set yourself firm to like I'm gonna do what's best for me. I'm gonna achieve. I'm gonna work at like what I really want, right? And it didn't work. It's because it's time to start doing it again but also moving to a different space and place in terms of people, in terms of living or work or finances, resources, country, partner, maybe even family. But you're ready to do that transition. Everyone trusts in you and believes you, and no one's gonna let you fall. Don't run like a fucking maniac. But let yourself start walking the journey that you're gonna need to go through anyway. No, it's like gonna be steady and slow and sometimes hard, but other times you're gonna be really enjoying the fruits of your labor. And eventually you're gonna see that you create something magnificent for yourself and everyone's rejoicing and being so happy over the evidence you've reached for yourself, but also the testimony that you are for everyone else to follow themselves to and to trust that they are like, a part of God's plan as it's coming through. That they are divine in their own right to actually like achieve their desires and dreams and to stand tall and to have those wars that you need to. Sometimes you gotta burn a motherfucker down to actually like get where you need to get to. And it's okay because everyone needs to learn by setting an example, creating consequence, positive or negative, and looking forward to where else they need to go after either gaining or losing something, right? After realizing that they were either playing the wrong cards or the right cards. Maybe it's a whole different game you need to start, right? It's okay to look forward to being liberated if you leave other people behind. You don't gotta always pity them or mercy them because at points it's unhealthy, especially if you're making like giving like creating a disservice to yourself otherwise as well. Because there's more to life than just being nice, proper, uh, good, right, not rocking the boat, modest, and not appearing, I don't know, like blunt, bitchy, headstrong, um, stubborn, non-negotiable, strong-willed or opinioned, maybe even ignorant to some societal common sense in a way. How else are you supposed to like live your life and discover what you really want or how you really are happy if you don't go against the grain of what is normalcy and proper, adequate living? I think that's everything. Yeah, I'm just having a lot of guide interaction, which is really interesting. It's not like they want me to do anything, but they keep pulling me. Like, I don't know. I guess I'm gonna have to sit with that after this reading. I don't know why I kept being pulled. I'm gonna leave it. Thank you so much for being here and spending your time and getting this reading. I really do hope that this has helped. I congratulate you on getting this far and achieving, because you've achieved a lot. I think it's just this was like a boot in the booty to be like you can keep going, like trust yourself, believe in yourself. I think it's just come in a bit of a blunt way so you can really believe in being your best version without being actually perfect and trusting yourself in better judgment that's not overthinking things or going back on yourself or doubting like the first answer you get and looking to, future horizons and doing the next step and believing in yourself to ascend to that next step instead of holding yourself back to where you are that's already like an empty oasis and not really serving you all that much. Because you are your own sorcerer and you are evolving and ascending to this, I don't know, new position in the collective. That's kind of cool. Everything will make more sense with time. It's gonna come full circle. You're just currently realigning with some things, and this shit doesn't happen overnight, for sure. So, um, if you believe in some angels, pray to them too. That just came through. I would also recommend being careful on which angel you pray to, but that's my personal opinion and side note that I'm gonna just keep to myself. But still, I felt like mentioning it. So, um, and if your angel can yourself, yeah, trust yourself in where you're being led to or going, or where you're leading yourself, because that's important too. But yeah. So some of you might want to go actually talk to God yourself and pray on that. That's actually the end of the message. All right. Peace out. Have a good one. Look after yourselves and I don't know, keep being awesome. All right. See ya.